you. Thank you, Senator Schumer, Leader Schumer, for calling us together on this Project 2025, as you might say in Brooklyn, NFW, which in Minnesota means not for women or men. Thank you. Just a nice little euphemism for us. And I want to thank my colleagues for being here. And my specific focus today is on the dangers that Project 2025, which is, by the way, not the number of felony indictments Donald Trump is facing, but in fact, what Tim Walz called the playbook at our convention, and that's what it is. And when it comes to democracy, it truly poses a danger to our system of checks and balances. I lead with this topic because Senator Warner just had a major hearing yesterday that I suggest you look at on the threats from the outside when it comes to our democracy. With Russia and Iran, we've already seen the actual evidence of what Russia has been trying to do. Intel agencies have been warning for months that foreign interests like Iran, China, and Russia are trying to mess around in our democracy. Yeah, what does Project 2025 does? Big surprise, given that we know what Donald Trump said about Kim Jong-un, what he has said favorable about Vladimir Putin. It would actually make it easier for foreign adversaries to interfere in our elections by shutting down the cybersecurity and infrastructure security agencies' efforts to combat foreign disinformation. It said it would narrow their mission about our election and preventing U.S. Cyber Command from working on efforts to strengthen election security. You do remember that after CISA said the 2020 election, remember that, was the most secure in American history, Donald Trump fired its director, Chris Krebs, his own appointee, who had earned bipartisan support for his work to counter disinformation. It is just another proof point which is consistent with what Project 2025 says when it talks about limiting the work of this agency. Just this week, the current director of CISA, Jen Easterly, said that our election infrastructure has never been more secure, and Project 2025 would be a massive step backwards on this. It would also inject partisanship into federal agencies that are critical to protecting our free and fair elections, like the DOJ, and open the door to the weaponization of the department to harass voters and election officials. It would do this under the guise of combating voter fraud, even though experts have found that committing voter impersonation fraud is so rare that an American is more likely to be struck by lightning. Yet they are using this to make claims about fraud, and then using that to weaponize our agencies. It would open the floodgates to even more secret money in our elections by weakening campaign finance laws and calling the FEC contribution limits, this is what it says, saying they should be much higher. You've already seen what they have done in the past with the Citizens United case, making it impossible to enforce the work that John McCain had done on election laws. So there you go. It sets out in detail the plan to fire tens of thousands of civil servants without cause, those charged with protecting our health and safety, as well as law enforcement and national security personnel, and replace them with partisan loyalists. We're talking about giving one person nearly unchecked power over everything just months after the Supreme Court, and I thank Senator Schumer for his bill he has on this, already undermined the fundamental principle that no one is above the law. So let us be clear, Project 2025 poses an enormous threat to our democracy, and the words of the candidates of Donald Trump and of J.D. Vance simply have backed it up every step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.